Grab a beer and pull up a chair. Welcome to the Northwoods Beer Guy Podcast. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Northwoods Beer Guy Podcast. This is Mike. I am the Northwoods Beer Guy, and today we are joined by a special co-host, way better looking than the ones that I've had to put up with for the last several episodes. Today we are joined by my lovely wife, Susie. Susie, I'd like to thank you for saying that you would partake in these drinks, because I'm not sure how Jim was going to take them. So,
well, thanks for having me, Mike.
I guess first off, we'd like to say happy Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. To everyone out there, hopefully you had time to enjoy some good food and hopefully some good craft beers. Probably watch some football, eat too much turkey, and take a nap.
And deer hunt.
And deer hunt, yes. In the upper Midwest, it is deer season. So a lot of people do get out and deer hunt. So we hope that it was successful for everybody. And so today, we decided we were going to try something a little different. Like I said, I don't know how Jim was going to react to these. And he was also in the middle of combining his farm. So we decided to do this today and kind of save him from.
And this is.
Well, I was getting there. We had trying to build it up a little bit. If you remember last week, I had mentioned how Susie had surgery on her Achilles, and ever since then, like most regular beers, you get a headache and stuff real quick. So what we're doing today, and she was gracious enough to say she would be a part of, is seltzers and kind of cocktails, I guess.
In a can.
Yeah, I mean it's something a little different. There's we got two of them say seltzer. Then there's what is this one? We got a vodka. That's a vodka seltzer, and then a tequila cocktail, and kind of another tequila cocktail. But they're all kind of like malt beverage type of thing. So we're going to give that a whirl and see what it's like. It's kind of outside of my comfort zone, I guess. But I think some of them look like they should be interesting. I don't know have you had any of these before?
I've had a couple of them. So I definitely have a favorite, I think, but I'll try to I'll try to be unbiased. So.
Well, like I say to Jim, just remember, no opinion is a bad opinion, because it's your opinion. So yeah, I guess we can kick it off right away. And the first one that we're going to do is it's a seltzer, but it's a hard soda, and it's cherry cola. So these have really kind of been coming on in the last couple of years, I guess. Mm-hmm. I remember it wasn't that long ago. I'm sure you remember when this ain't your daddy's root beer, ain't your father's root beer first came. That was some of the first hard soda I remember seeing.
They had a root beer, and then I think they had an orange, I think, too.
Yep, and then I think I've seen where they have now they got hard Mountain Dew and stuff like that. I've never had that, but it just it definitely seems like that kind of category is exploding, so to speak. So this one is cherry cola. It says 5% ABV, 0 sugar, 100 calories. Yeah, I guess we'll crack this open and see what it says. How it is. Like I said, I don't know myself. It's kind of a little something out of the norm, which is good. So we'll see what it's like.
I think the birth of these, or the reason they're getting so popular, is just because there's a trend to be a little more calorie conscious, I think, for a lot of women and men too. But that's kind of, I think, where things kind of started. I
always remember back in the day, the classic Miller Lite commercials: taste great, less filling. They were kind of before their time, and I think you're right. I do see a lot of ladies are drinking a number of these, and honestly, I look at it like it's a good way to kind of introduce people into maybe getting into craft beer a little more. That's what I think anyway.
It's got a nice smell to it. It kind of smells like a
it smells like
Shirley Temple.
I was going to say you can smell the cherry for sure. That's not bad.
It's a little on the sweet side, but I don't think I could drink a lot of them.
That you're right, because I'm going to take another taste, because you're right. I think there's a lot of sugar in that. No, it says 0 sugar.
Zero sugar.
Was it 0 sugar? Yeah, 0 sugar, but it's very sweet.
So it's probably got fruit.
Other stuff in it.
Toast or something.
It could be.
It looks like it has 7 carbs, so it's got maybe a little more higher on the carb side.
Right.
But I like the flavor. It reminds me of a kitty cocktail. Our daughter used to call them Mary Moo cows. She still loves them.
Oh yes, yeah, she sure does. And yeah, you're right. I don't know if I'd want to drink a lot of them. I don't know because myself, if I drink Mike's Hard Lemonade, if I have more than one, I'll get heartburn because they're that really sweet. And this one I think is kind of bordering a little bit on that sweet side. side.
I get more heartburn, I think, from the citrus side, and this is more the sweet side, but it's good. I'm definitely
Yeah, I mean, it
gonna turn it down.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of cherry cola.
Mhm.
It does have that taste. So yeah, I guess, what do you think? What kind of a score do you think? You know how we score out of 5 stars, 2.5 is average. So I guess where would you put that on that scale? And remember, like I always say, no opinion's a bad opinion because it's your opinion. So
Well, I've had not a lot, but I've had some different seltzers in the past that really don't have a lot of flavor. They're more, blah. This at least has some good flavor, although it may be a little on the sweet side. I'd give it a solid 3.
okay, yeah, I think on a hot day, if this is ice cold, it would really be refreshing. And I agree with you. I think the cherry cola flavor definitely is there. Taste, and you can smell the cherry for sure. I'm going to put it at like a 2.8, which surprises me because, like I said, I don't know. I'm not a big seltzer guy, but I think it's got a good flavor. A little bit on the sweet side, but maybe all of these are. I don't know. I guess the farther we go, the more we'll figure that out. But yeah, I think it was a good way to start.
Did you say what the alcohol content was?
Oh, I did not.
5%.
5%. I guess I got to remember to say that when we're first doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 5%. So it'll get you there eventually.
And then you did mention that it was 0 sugar and only 100 calories for those who are calorie conscious.
If you're calorie conscious and you're looking for a drink, that's one that could be. And I forgot to mention it is a Bud Light product. So we will give them the recognition they deserve. So the next one we're going to go to now, this is, how do you pronounce this one?
This is called Neutral.
Neutral, because it's got that umlaut.
It's got like a umlaut over the U. That's German, isn't it?
Something like that. The last time we had one, I believe it was on a German beer, and I said umlaut, and I think I almost blew Jim's mind.
Oh, he didn't know what that was.
The name of those 2 dots was. So this one is black cherry as well. It's black cherry, so it should be possibly similar to the last one. But this is a vodka seltzer, and it says real juice. And let's see. Here, I will give you that. See if it says.
It says 100 calories.
So same as the last one.
Gluten free. We have friends who are gluten sensitive, so that's a good one. And I can't read what that says.
They have a white label and they printed it in like silver. So it's really difficult to. I believe it's also right around that 5% ABV, if I remember correctly.
Let's give it a try.
Yeah, let's see what it is.
I like the font they use on the can too.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's not your normal standard Times New Roman. Mm-hmm. You can smell the black cherry, and it's red. Now that one tastes different. I mean, it's not nearly as sweet as the first one, but I'm sure it's not supposed to be. I think this definitely tastes more along like a cocktail flavor to it.
It's got a little more, I think, bubbles, like almost like carbonation maybe, where the previous one was a little more flat. I don't know if it was because of the sweetness.
It could have been. Yeah, this one, it does have that. It almost
like what's the kind of water? Like the...
like a seltzer water. I know what you're talking about. Like
LaCroix water or, the
where it's
carbonated water.
Yeah, it definitely has almost a different, like a way different mouthfeel to it. You know what I mean? It's not...
Right. It finishes different. It's good, though. Definitely, I think I could maybe drink a few more of these versus the first one. I don't think I could drink a lot of those.
Right, because like I said, this one is definitely not as sweet, but it's got a good flavor. I mean, you can definitely taste the black cherry and all that. And I don't get, I don't know, because I don't know if I've ever had one of these, to be honest with you, but I don't taste like the vodka in it, so that's not a bad thing. So I think the mixture is pretty good. I mean, where you get the flavor, the black cherry and such. So it's not, I don't think, a person out there, if they may not be a huge vodka fan, but with this, you don't even know.
You don't really even know that it's vodka, and it tastes more like carbonated water.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. With, a little bit of flavor in it.
Yep. So I think that's another one that a person just kind of getting into this thing, they probably would enjoy it. It's not super strong. And like I said, you don't get a vodka flavor to it. So I think it's pretty good.
I would consider myself a vodka connoisseur. And I would not, unless you would have told me that there was vodka in it, I wouldn't have guessed it.
No, I wouldn't have either.
Which is good. I really like this. I think I like it better than the first one.
Okay.
I think this is also a Anheuser-Busch product, isn't it?
I believe so.
But I would definitely go with maybe 3-2.
Oh, okay. So, you're going to step up on that one. Yeah. I think between the two, it's a little hard to compare them because one is a seltzer and one is, well, this is a seltzer too, but this is,
One's vodka vodka.
Vodka and one is, yes. But I do agree with you. I think this one, I like this one a little bit more just because it's not quite as sweet, where I think the first one was definitely over the top sweet. So I'm gonna give this one a 2.9. I think it just does a little bit better on it. And like I said, I think I could drink a couple of these and not have to worry about, getting that heartburn from the oversweet. So I guess we should let everybody know that we are once again recording in our home bar. Susie, what do you think of the setup?
I really like it. I'm not sure how much we've mentioned our move
we've talked. Jim and I have talked about it,
Yeah.
and such. We've kind of given some stories about different things about.
Yes, it's we moved into a fixer upper, which is definitely a challenge. But honestly, setting the bar up was one of the first things that we did, and I think it was almost a moment when it was done, we were like, oh, it really kind of made it feel homey. Reminded me, I think of our old place, even though it's totally different.
Right. Yeah, and it was the first thing that we got set up in the living room area was the bar. So priorities.
Yes, priorities. We downsized. We went from a pretty large house to a not so large house with not a lot of wall space, and just makes it a challenge for me because I have lots of wonderful things that I'd like to collect and hang on my walls, and I'm finding that a bit of a challenge, but
it's a work in progress.
It is. This week, actually, we've been here, how long? The 22nd
of September is when we
closed.
Yep.
So I finally had more than I had 2 pictures on the wall up until last night, and then I put more up last night. We had some company last night come in late. Yeah, I like it. Our next project is we have some issues with our floor in that it's a little uneven. So we have a friend that's a builder that's going to help with that, hopefully.
Yep.
We'll hopefully see him tomorrow.
Hopefully, yeah. So we can maybe put some plans together again and such. But yeah, it's I think that'll be a big step in the right direction. And
well, the home was originally built, I don't know exactly when, but we do have a picture from 1959 where there was already an addition. So I'm assuming I need to look at the deed.
Right, and see what it says.
Which that's public record, so I should probably do that.
Right.
Just to see exactly when it was built and all of that. I'm kind of a history buff, so I kind of like that stuff. We do have a picture from 1959 with the previous owner holding one of his boys and another one of the oldest boy standing next to him. So
yeah, and we had mentioned before Jim and I did that it's next door to your mom's house.
Yep.
So we actually was it last week? We went and bought a 1990 golf cart. Mm-hmm. She had mentioned about maybe she should look at getting a golf cart so she could just ride over and visit. So we'll see.
Yeah.
See how she likes the golf cart.
Yeah. So how far do you think it is? It's like
as far as
from her house to here.
It's
maybe 2 football fields.
Yeah, maybe a couple hundred yards, maybe.
And she doesn't drive anymore. She's 86. So, but she thinks she can maybe drive a golf cart. So that'd be cool.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. It's an electric one.
Yeah.
We have
red.
We have a friend.
Racing red.
Yeah, we have a friend that kind of hooked me up with it on the Marketplace. This is the first thing I've ever bought off Marketplace, so it was a little scary. The first one I looked at, I had it all. I was going to go look at it, and then lo and behold, it was in Arizona.
Yeah, we couldn't get there in an evening and get back to work for the next day. So yeah, we had to pass on that one, but it all worked out. I guess we got 3 other drinks here. We might as well move on to the next one. Now, this next one is going to be a little bit different because the first 2 were both a cherry flavor. This one is a margarita flavor. And this is it carbless? Is that
carbless?
Carbless. And this is a tequila cocktail, craft tequila cocktail. It says 0 carbs, 0 sugars, 100 calories, and gluten free, and 5% ABV. I am sensing a pattern
Yeah. So I looked them up. This is actually husband and wife came up with this. They're in Wisconsin. They were on like the no carb diet, and they realized that there weren't a lot of options. Although they watched what they ate, they did like to try to unwind occasionally and have a beverage, but didn't find a lot of cocktails out there that fit the bill when it came to it. They kind of were looking at the seltzers, but they were really high in carb count. So, yeah, so they developed this. The margarita is, I'm trying to think, they have lots of different flavors. They also have like the black cherry and all of that. But
Okay.
I have a special sister that loves the margarita flavor. She drinks that a lot. But
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah, like I said, and these are all what? Because are these is this a 12-ounce can? Would you say, or are they smaller? Because it's a different shape. It remind. Oh no, 12 fluid ounces. It has. I apologize, but it's like that.
They're like the
Almost like the Ultra cans were.
well, the Ultra cans I think are skinnier though because they're only 10. Aren't they 10
They
ounces?
used to be 10 ounces. That was always the weird advertising part of it. I don't know, but these are all that kind of a taller, skinnier in diameter.
I think that was all just kind of a play on the can koozie market. They had to come up with, now you have to have two different kinds of can koozies.
Different can koozie, of course.
You can't have just one.
No, exactly.
So the margarita carbless.
So this one should taste and smell different because it's margarita. It smells like a
Ooh,
margarita.
it smells like margarita.
Like a classic
I love
margarita.
This. Definitely lime. Wow.
I hate to say it, but that's not bad.
That's really good. I could
A
definitely
little sweet.
A little sweet. I could definitely drink one of these poolside on the cruise ship.
Yeah, that's surprising. Like I said, this one definitely, sweetness wise, it's not as sweet as the cherry cola, but it's sweeter than the neutral. But I don't think it's not over the top sweet.
It has that little finish, though, that is more of a on the lime citrusy side.
I'd agree with you there. That's still, it's got good flavor. I'm surprised.
Over ice?
Yeah, that would probably make it even better. Huh. Yeah, I'm surprised. Like I said, and now you said there's a whole bunch of different, I'm sure, flavors.
Well, I think with most of these, will find that they have the different flavors, and they do have the variety packs available. Normally, I know that Carbless, they come in a 4-pack. One of the facts about Carbless is I think it's a little more expensive, but I think all of these, the cocktails, you're going to get a 4-pack, and you'll probably pay what you would pay for a 6-pack of a normal like seltzer type.
So are they, as far as like price, do you think they would be similar to like some of the 4-packs of craft beer, or?
Oh, probably not as much.
Okay.
But I know we do a little bit of work with some local, I don't know if you'd really call them festivals, but yeah, I guess they're local festivals, and we, they sell different types of beverages, and they usually do like a beer ticket. You buy a ticket per beverage, and one of the things we look at in that situation is, how much does it cost per, because, you don't want to lose money on something by not charging enough, but you don't want to charge too much.
Right.
If not all of the products cost that much. So I know Carbless is a little more expensive. I think,
so that's kind of one that they look at to kind of base your pricing on for everything else off of to cover that too. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I mentioned that I could definitely see myself drinking one of these next to a pool on a cruise ship. We are planning a cruise in February. We're getting close to, 100 days?
Well, we probably shouldn't have brought that up because our daughter has, I don't know if she's been told about that. She listens to the podcast.
Oh, suckers. Yeah.
Well, I'll let you field that call.
Okay. I think she knows, doesn't she?
I don't know. She might. I don't know.
Maybe we forgot to mention.
Oopsies.
Whoopsies, yeah. We like to cruise Carnival, the fun ship.
So what, do you want to go first on this one?
I'll let you go first.
Okay. I think as far as score-wise, flavor, I think I almost like this the best of the three so far. I think it's not over-the-top sweet. It has good flavor. The second one, like I said, it was almost a different mouthfeel to it. You know what I mean? It was, I don't know, it was just really bubbly, like you had said. And I think this one is probably, of the three, I like this better. I'm going to go like a 3-1 on this one out of 5. Like I said, I think it would be interesting to try some of the different other flavors just to see if it's just that the margarita, is that the one that kind of shines, or do some of their other ones, are they very similar? You know what I mean? As far as the flavor and all that. Because I think
I bet some of the other flavors might not necessarily be tequila based. I wonder if they're vodka based or if they're.
That's a good point. It could very well be. So we'll have to check that out. So what do you think of it? Did you give a score?
I did not.
Okay.
I was predetermined that this was probably going to be my favorite, and it is so far. What did I give the last one? 3, 5?
No. You haven't went that.
3,
you went a 3,
2,
and then you went a 3-2, I believe. Yeah.
I would do 3-5 on Carbless margarita.
Oh, okay. So you really like that one.
I do.
And
I don't think I could drink as many of these either, just because of the citrus acidity thing.
Yeah, I think after a while that would start to wear a little bit on a person, I think.
In my own defense, I'm not exactly sure, because I can usually tell within maybe like a half a can of something if I'm going to react with headaches or not being able to handle things. I think it may be more hop or malt based.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could
the issue
be.
that I have or the reaction that I have.
It could be something with the hops. It could be something with the brewer's yeast. You know, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
It's
But
just weird.
there are seltzers though that give me a headache as well.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So and they wouldn't necessarily have hops in them.
Right.
But they might have yeast. No, if they're a seltzer, they wouldn't have. Well, if it's a malt beverage,
yeah. There's something in there that converts the sugars to alcohol. So I guess that would be, I'm sure it's yeast. But yeah, it's just kind of odd because, like I said, you had Achilles surgery, which I never thought would affect being able to drink a beer, but it did. So
yeah, I was very passionate about beer prior to surgery. I loved beer a lot.
And now
I can take a few sips here and there. Craft beer doesn't bother me as much. Like, I think one time I drank an entire pint of like a Scottish ale or something.
You had that Russian Imperial Stout. You know,
but any of the lighter beers I tried the rice-based beers, the gluten-free beers, the whatever, and I just haven't really found anything that I've been able to drink.
Yeah. So if anybody out there is listening and you have an idea, send us an email and let us know what it could be, because this has been going on now for a few years. So
that was when we got Gus Gus, our cat.
Yeah, so she's like 6, I think now. So yeah, kind of interesting. So let's, should we try this other one here? Do you have something else you'd like to talk about?
Talked a little bit about cruise. Well, this cruise we're going, it's going to be an 8-day cruise. So that's going to be cool. And it's the end of February. So
I'll get my platinum card.
Yes. So platinum means on Carnival that you've had 75 days at sea.
And I just need 1 day. So I turn platinum on this. You turn platinum on the last one we were on. So you get a few little perks.
Yep.
You know, things like that.
You board quicker and don't have to wait in line for things.
I think you get a free drink or something. I don't know.
Something.
I'll have to check it out anyway. But yeah, it's been quite the ride.
Our first cruise that we went on as a family was actually my second cruise, because I went on a sister's cruise and it was only 4 days. And for those of you that have never cruised before, you might think that 4 days is enough. It's not. Way too short.
Well, this past December, we had went on a 3-day cruise, and it was a whole different dynamic. That one was pretty rushed. I felt you had a day at sea. We're in the Bahamas, right, for a day.
Yes.
Yeah, and then a day back, and it just seemed like you got your stuff unpacked and you're packing it back up. So, and again, a lot of people like those quick ones and such. I like the longer ones because you can just relax and kind of kick back.
Well, the reason we ended up going on a 3-day cruise is we were going to watch our daughter play basketball, and she was in Miami, and it was cheaper to take a 3-day cruise than it was to stay in a hotel for 3 days in Miami. Yeah, so it was crazy.
When you mentioned that, I thought there's no way, and we got to look at it, and it was way cheaper.
It was like $400 maybe for the 3 days, if that.
And that included your food,
your beverages, everything. So it was crazy.
Yeah, it was just unbelievable. Then to look at the hotel prices in Miami, it's like
the hotel prices alone are $300 a night. So we could have went on probably 2 or 3 3-day cruises.
Yeah, for what it would have cost to be down there in the hotel. Yeah, kind of crazy, but yeah, they're fun. You know, we've done a couple of all-inclusives, and I think they both have their place. All-inclusives are nice because those are typically way relaxing. You kick back. The thing there was I was always, I'll take pictures tomorrow. And then when tomorrow came, it was
time to go.
And it's like, oh man, and I never got pictures of a lot of stuff.
Right.
Where on a cruise ship, you're only in port for part of a day, so it can be kind of rushed. But you're always seeing something new. There's always things to do on the ship.
And if you don't want to do them, you don't have to.
Right.
You can go
you can still
play by the pool. You can do whatever. You can make it as fun or as not fun as you want.
Yeah. And people have said, do you get seasick? And honestly, on all the cruises that we've been on, there's been maybe 2 or 3 days where it's been really rocky. But other than that, you don't even really realize you're on a ship
until you get off, and then you have your sea legs.
Then it's kind of weird. Then the sidewalk moves from time to time, but
we love to cruise though.
It's a fun vacation.
It is a little busy though when you have multiple ports. Like this one that we're going on in February. It's 8 days, but our first 2 days are at sea. We'll have plenty of time to relax, and you love to read. Mike is a little averse to the sun. He's sometimes known as the alabaster kid. Yep. Yes, he doesn't tan well.
No, I burn, peel, and go back to white.
Yeah, I, on the other hand, love the sun. Do not really burn, just tan and
Our daughter kind of takes after me, so
yeah,
a lot of times she'd come over. We nicknamed the shaded area the Bat Cave.
The Bat
so
Cave.
we'd go sit in the Bat Cave and read
Mhm.
and such for a while you were out cooking in the sun. So yeah.
But we, and you can do that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like you said, there's so much stuff to do. You really have to try not to have fun to not
to have fun, right?
And yeah, there's a lot of people, but honestly, the ships are so big, it doesn't seem like, you're not like, there's times, yes, you are packed in, like, the sail away parties, things like that.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people on the Lido deck partying and such, but the rest of the time, I mean, people are spread out and doing their own thing, and it's not any busier really than any place else you are.
Yeah, it helps if you have an early riser in your group to help, on those sea days, because it's sometimes the chairs are premium by the pool if you want to sit in the pool. If you want to sit in the Bat Cave, those are usually
The Bat Cave is
available.
not nearly as hard to get a seat in typically until it gets hot during the day.
Yeah.
Then they're at a premium. Yeah, it's fun. Like I said, we've went on, I think this is my 12th and it'll be your 13th, I think.
Is it that many?
I think it's that many.
Oh,
when I looked it up, it was like, wow, kind of crazy. We started off, we were going to go once every couple of years, and then we were like, nah, it's not enough. Then we were going every year. Well, then when our daughter went to college, then we'd go on a cruise. Well, then we'd have to go on another one when she got done with school. So it adds up.
Our last one, we went to the Mexican Riviera. That was fun. We had never been on that side of the Pacific before.
Yeah.
On that side of Mexico.
All the other ones have been the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
It's different though.
Very different.
The water's different.
The
temperature is different. We even went in May and it was cooler.
Yeah.
Which you loved.
Oh yeah, I had
not so much.
no problem with that. But like you were talking about the water, because like in the Caribbean, you have these just brilliant blues and turquoise colored water and beaches, where on the Mexican Riviera side, it was just kind of, I'm not going to say dingy, but it was just kind of
brownish blue.
Yeah, just kind of, what you'd think of. I was not blown away by the watercolor.
Right. Although I did see a whale. I was by myself.
Supposedly.
No, there were people there that verified it for me.
Okay.
You guys were somewhere.
I think we went to get something to eat. Yeah.
But and dolphins. I saw dolphins, and I didn't have anybody to share it with, so I had to go find somebody in the hot tub, and they were like, "Did you see the dolphins?" No.
And they're like, okay, go away, crazy lady.
No.
Well, yeah, I'm getting kind of thirsty here. So let's try another one of these. And this one is going to be, this is another tequila based one, but this is Tequila Paloma, and it's a Fresca mixed. So this, I've kind of pulled up a little write up on this because I had never heard of it before. And I think all of these we basically inherited from some people came over and they left them, and so they were in the beer fridge. So I got more beer to put in the beer fridge, so we had to get rid of some of these. Yeah. So a Tequila Paloma, it says real tequila blanco from Mexico. Take it easy with our Tequila Paloma, a perfectly balanced blend made with authentic tequila blanco from Mexico and the citrus taste of Fresca. Our easy to enjoy Paloma cocktail pulls through. So once again, how many calories do you suppose it is?
It's probably 100.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Is there sugar in it?
Nope.
Nope. ABV, you would guess
5.
Yep. Carbs, it's 1.6.
Ooh, low
grams.
Carbs. There you go.
No protein. 0 grams of protein. So it sounds like they have a couple different varieties of this, but this is the Tequila Paloma, and it's Fresca, if you don't know, is a type of soda. A type of pop. It's kind of a grapefruity.
It's a sour kind of mix.
Okay.
Sour kind of mixer.
I was going to say, would you say it's kind of like a squirt or that style, or is it different than that?
It's a little more harsh than a squirt, okay. I think.
I can smell the tequila in this.
Yeah, this one has a little more alcohol taste to it.
Oh, yeah.
It's not bad. It's
definitely different than those first ones.
But it's way different. It's more, this tastes like you're actually drinking a cocktail rather than like a pop.
With this one, it does have a sweet finish.
It does.
It has like a sweetness to it, but that initial taste, you can definitely get that tequila. And like I said, I'll have to look and see if Tequila Paloma is whatever that cocktail is, to see what it actually is. Like I said, it has the tequila flavor, but then it's kind of gone. It's there and then it's gone. It doesn't hang around a lot, but it's good.
So Fresca is kind of like has kind of made a resurgence, I think. I can remember when I was younger, or when I first started bartending. I used to bartend right after I turned 21, and we had one of the regulars would drink Rhine wine and Fresca.
What is Rhine wine?
It's a really bad wine.
Okay, interesting. So,
and Fresca has made a resurgence, but I think they changed the recipe a little bit because it tastes better than it used to, or when I remember from way back when. I as I mentioned earlier, I kind of consider myself a vodka connoisseur, and I like vodka sour is kind of what I drink, but I drink Squirt,
right,
like Diet Squirt. But I have widened my palate a little bit, and to include Fresca, and it's good.
Huh.
I mean, it's
interesting. Yeah, I guess I never paid attention that you had Fresca.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny when you talk about kind of like the older pops. When I remember growing up, do you remember Tab?
Oh, absolutely. I drink.
I thought that was horrible.
Oh,
and my brother
tastes like
loved it.
lemon pledge kind of.
My brother loved it. He would drink that stuff. Oh, I couldn't understand how he could do it because it was.
Isn't there like a Pepsi lemon too, or Pepsi with lemon, or
it could have been. I just remember.
Wasn't the Tab? Wasn't it like a pink can?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of pinkish.
Kind of a pinkish, and it had Tab, you know, on the label or the name of it and such. And it was a cola. To me, it was like a really bad cola.
Did it have a lemon though? Didn't it? Did it have a lemon tinge to it or something?
I don't know. It to me, it was god awful. So I don't.
That and what's the other one? Was it Diet Right?
Diet Right. Yeah,
Diet Right, that was another one.
I'm trying to remember what was you remember Bonanza?
Oh, absolutely.
Stores.
Oh, Jolly Good.
We had one back home, and you could mix and match
your
Jolly Good 8-pack of bottles.
Yep, Jolly Good.
Okay, because I remember we would go get groceries, my mom and dad and brother and I, and they had like those. They didn't have like a normal shopping cart today. They had like you put pallets on. You know what I mean?
Like the Menards.
Yeah, like those flat
carts.
Mm-hmm. And you just and you took like empty boxes, and then you put your stuff in it.
Yeah, and then you get Gold Bond stamps. Do you remember?
I don't remember that. I'd have to ask the folks on that one. But
you have the little stamp books.
But I do remember, when you go to the pop aisle, and then you'd mix and match. We'd always grab, one of these, two of these, or whatever.
Yeah, we always had to get like lemon lime for my dad, and then that was the only kind that was left by the end of the week. Because we always got black cherry and root beer,
cola. Because you couldn't say Coca-Cola; it was just cola because that's what But yeah, that was kind of funny, and I believe they're still around. Bonanzas, I think.
Really?
I think, but I don't quote. Of course, the Bonanza I'm probably thinking of is because there's like a Bonanza steak house or whatever.
So it was kind of ahead of its time because it's kind of like a Sam's Club or a Costco, really. When you think
you're
about
right.
it.
I mean, they didn't.
Where you
really,
had to box your own stuff.
It wasn't like you had
other
to buy
than the shopping carts,
right? You didn't have to buy really in bulk there, but you boxed your own stuff. They didn't have.
Well, you did at Bonanza. You did.
Was there?
Oh yeah, you'd get a case of peas. You get.
Oh yeah.
And
then you'd have like you'd see the person with like the big 100-pound bag of rice or what and such like that. Yeah, those were the days. It was kind of interesting.
So the Bonanza around here was actually on. Kind of right behind 608 Brewing in La Crosse. So on that causeway there.
Yeah, ours back home, it was a Bonanza. Then I think they turned it into, I can't remember if like a car lot bought the property and I think they tore down the building and things like that. But yeah, it was, like I said, just kind of that. And then Piggly Wiggly, we shopped at Piggly Wiggly.
We had a Piggly Wiggly in Sparta at one time. Mm-hmm. It was where Hanson's is.
Oh, okay. So that's changed a few different times. Because when I first moved here, it was a IGA, if I remember right.
It was a County Market.
Could have been. It could have been County Market first, and then it switched from that to
something else.
IGA to Hanson's. Well, hey, on the Tequila Paloma, what are your thoughts on that for a score? What would you...
Probably my least favorite so far. Well, no, I like it better than the first one. Okay. So maybe like a 3.1.
Okay. I think I could do one of them. I don't know if I'd go back for more because I think it would be kind of the flavor might get a little much.
It's got a good flavor though. I mean, again, it's not like some of the seltzers that are out there that have just like a touch of flavor and it's more carbonation than anything.
Yeah.
I think these have a lot more flavor than those.
And considering that it's a tequila based, I mean, the last two have kind of surprised me because, like I said, the neutral I really couldn't taste vodka, which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying that, but these two you could taste the tequila. It wasn't over the top. This one is definitely stronger than the carbless was. I would say for me, I'm going to give that like a 2.7. So I think overall it's probably my lowest score, but it's a 1/10 of a point. And I think the right conditions, so to speak, that I'd probably grab that before I grab the hard soda.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was good. I was surprised. Like I said, I've never had one of those, and I didn't know what to expect, but it was good. And that one, like you said, it does definitely taste more like a cocktail.
Right.
Some of the other ones were more of kind of a seltzery type of thing. The last one we got is could be interesting. I don't know what to expect. This is Sunny D Vodka Seltzer. This one is only 4.5% ABV.
Oh,
so the rest of them have all been 5. This one's 4.5. This is 95 calories.
Oh.
Instead of 100, 0 sugar. It'll be do you think is it going to taste like Sunny D or
I
don't know.
I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah. So you've had this before?
I have had this before.
All right. So I'm looking on their website just to kind of get, some information. And one of the questions is Sunny D vodka seltzer made with real vodka? And the answer, yes. That's a yes, exclamation point. It's gluten-free. Oh, and it says, is it kosher? And they said, no, it's not certified kosher. So I guess I never would have thought about that on any of these. So let's crack it open and see what it says or what it is. If it's, do you think it's going to be orange like Sunny D, or is that probably not? I'm sure it'll probably be more just like the other. Oh, no, that's definitely not orange.
Oh, it's not?
No, looks just like.
Oh, it smells like orange though. It smells like a dream. It smells like a push-up.
Oh, yeah. It kind of smells like Sunny Delight.
Kind of tastes like Sunny Delight.
How in the world did Sunny D ever...
Who is the owner of Sunny D? So is it the...
Well, I'm still on their site. I don't know. Probably doesn't say who owns them.
That's not like... Because like Minute Maid is owned by Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they've got different, like a sampler thing as well. I don't know who owns them. That is wild. Because when I first saw it, I thought, okay, is this going to be, well, you think orange juice and vodka, that's a screwdriver, right?
Uh-huh.
So, but then it's, it's a seltzer. So I don't know if that's kind of what they were thinking or, they just saw that this market was kind of blossoming and they wanted to get in on it or what? Because I guess I just never would have thought that. I don't know. Maybe there's other ones out there that are similar to Sunny D that have come out with this same kind of a product, but it's definitely not bad.
I think it's good.
It does have a little more carbonation, not as much as the neutral.
Uh-huh.
But it seems like it's a little more carbonated to me than the other ones were.
I'm trying to look this up.
Oh, did you just type in who owns Sunny D?
Well, you'd think it would have to be the same people that own, because they can't use Sunny D because that's trademarked, right?
Oh, I said, yeah. Who owns Sunny D? Harvest Hill Beverage Company. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. I think it's a solid. All of these are like, well, the hard soda, I don't necessarily equate to summertime poolside.
Right. But I think I can see where it could be, but I think seltzers are kind of more just any time,
This last taste I just had reminds me more of baby aspirin than Sunny D.
It does kind of have that baby aspirin. Whatever that orange.
Do they even make baby aspirin anymore?
They do, but they don't call it baby aspirin. Because remember, I had to go...
For the dog?
For the dog to get like some baby aspirin, and I couldn't find baby aspirin where it said baby aspirin anywhere. And it was like, don't quote me, because
like infant.
Well, no, it was almost like aspirin light, or it wasn't like that, but you know what I mean? It was like, it was something to that effect though, but it didn't say baby.
Don't you remember though, when you were little, you just chew those things like they were candy?
Well, they had, the one side was orange.
Orange, and then the other side was white.
And the other side was white, and it had that fake orange flavor, and it kind of, I hate to say, it kind of tastes like this.
This kind of tastes like this. I think it tastes more like baby aspirin than it actually does Sunny D, but it's good. It's not my favorite, but
right. I agree with you there. This one I'm going to go like a 2.6. I don't know if it's not bad. If somebody offered me one, I'd take it, but I don't think I would personally
buy it.
Yeah, I'd go out and find it and buy it myself. But that's, like I said, these were definitely not stuff that I normally would have bought. But
I could see like having some pancakes and eggs and having one of these.
Yeah, I mean, it's got Sunny D in it, so it's breakfast food.
It's breakfast, right?
Yeah, that's what I think. Oh. So what kind of score would you give it?
Probably like a 3-1.
Okay. So now I'm sure you've listened to the podcast, and once we get done rating them, then we'll go through and say, was there one or two that you would say these are that you would recommend, that you say, if you're going to go out and get any of these, this is, look for this one or these two or whatever. I mean, is there any of these that you would say, I guess of this group, which one would you tell people they should try?
I feel like anybody that is into seltzers has already tried Carbless, but I think Neutral might be a little less well known, maybe, or maybe Carbless is just more Wisconsin because it's made in Wisconsin. Is it distributed anywhere other than?
I think we'll have to look that up. I think
because they're out of Sheboygan. What did they say? Sheboygan, Wisconsin is where Carbless is
something
made?
like that. That's where the owners are from anyway.
I would say Neutral and Carbless are solids. The others, I wouldn't turn them down, but maybe on cue with you, it's not something that I would go, oh, let's go buy Sunny D vodka.
Right. Personally, and this might surprise you a little bit, I agree with you. I think Carbless is the biggest name besides the Bud Light seltzer, of course. But I think Carbless is really well known. If I was going to have somebody look at one that I think might surprise them a little bit, even though I scored it a little lower, I think the Fresca mix, that Tequila Paloma, I think the flavor was very much like a cocktail flavor. It did have a little bit.
It was very much tequila flavor.
Yes.
If you've ever had a bad experience with tequila, you don't want to have that.
You might not want to have that one.
Have that.
Where the Carbless, it wasn't as strong of a tequila flavor. I agree 100% with you there.
I mean, just even smelling it, like the first sip, it was like, oh my gosh, that's like, tequila.
Yep.
But
yes.
I mean, it wasn't bad, but tequila and I don't necessarily get along anymore.
Sure.
So
I think that's the one that kind of surprised me a little bit, even though I didn't rate it as high as some of the other ones, but I think that one, if people are, at least if they're open-minded and they haven't had a bad experience with tequila, I think they could try it. And it might surprise them. Like I said, it does remind me a little more of a cocktail type flavor to it. But like I said, the Carbless, I think, if I was going to say one was probably a winner, is probably the Carbless Margarita one, I think, was probably the
best one.
The best flavor. I think it was, it was definitely very interesting, this group was. And I'm glad you decided to partake because could you imagine the look that Jim probably would have gave me? First off, when I brought these up, and then secondly, when he was tasting them. Maybe he would have surprised me, you know. But I don't think these would not have been in his wheelhouse. I don't think.
You're probably right on that.
But I do have to tell him. I have to say he has expanded his palate's expanding.
Didn't he do an IPA?
Oh, we've done a couple IPAs.
Yeah.
He did the sours,
right?
And some of the sours we've tried. We are going to do, because I do have a number of sours from Drecker Brewing in the beer fridge. And we do have that, so I'm thinking he might not be quite as bad with those anymore, because I give him credit because here again, a lot of the sours aren't sour anymore. They go for the big sweet kind of thing. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, just as like a kind of a heads up, we're moving into December now. And so we are going to be doing, I've been looking for an advent calendar, and I did find one, but it's the same one I had from before, so I did not purchase that. And that was a Mobcraft, was the brewery, and it was very good, but I've already had that one. So I was looking for something different. I did find is the 12 Days of Christmas Shiner box. Was 12 different Shiner beers. So I think Jim and I will be doing a couple of podcasts on those. And I found a couple other Christmassy beers. And I know that we usually do some Black Friday beer shopping. And I'm going to make sure that Jim and I, and we got a couple other buddies that go with, that keep an eye out for some other Christmas beers. And maybe we'll find another 12 pack of 12 different beers that we can do, because we were hoping to do an advent calendar for the entire month of December, kind of have something a little more unique for December, but hopefully it'll all work out. And so we got that coming up, and then January it'll start our second season. So it's kind of crazy that we've already been going. I think this is going to be our 35th episode.
Wow. I
mean, that's pretty crazy. And I thought I better start keeping a spreadsheet of the beers that we have tried, so we didn't duplicate if at all possible. And I think right now, before these 5 here, I believe we were right around 214 different beers we've tried so far. Kind of wild. I mean, it went from, how long did I talk about doing this?
Oh, a long time.
And we'd always put it off, and I put it off. Then we recorded one, and oh, geez, I don't know. And I kind of hem-hawed around. Anyway, so we've got the kind of Christmas beers coming up for December. Then we'll start our second season, and hopefully we will be able to get BK back on some more this year. We're going to get Brian, the other Brian, with the best voice in podcasting, back on. His schedule's been crazy, but I just recently talked to him, and I think it's going to work out where him and I can kind of hook up some more, and we'll get him back on and such. So we got a lot of stuff coming up. It'll be a fun ride, and hopefully we'll get Susie will get you back on here and see how things go.
Yeah, I'm hoping that maybe we can do some more on location ones.
That is definitely a possibility, and I think when we're on a cruise, I've been looking up, and there are some craft breweries. We'll have to see how it works. We may not make it to any, but we could always possibly do one there as well, where it's
maybe we could get one of the crew members. Or you could maybe even interview the brewmeister at on the ship.
Yeah, you never know, because some of the ships do have their own brewery. Now, I don't know if the Magic does or not. I'd have to look. I don't remember. They might. I don't know. Well, I know they have the pub and and such.
That might be a little older ship.
It might be a little older ship. So anyway, well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for spending some time with us. Susie, thank you so much for partaking in these. And again, ladies and gentlemen, like we always say, I hope your campfires are always warm and your beer is always cold. See ya.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. If you have a question, a comment, or a beer you'd like us to review, please feel free to send us a message at northwoodsbeerguy@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're on Untappd, look up Northwoods Beer Guy and send a friend request. Until next week, I hope all your campfires are warm and all your beer is cold.